On.
We're almost there. It's a beautiful day.
We
It's
almost
Festool
there?
Friday, baby.
Woo!
All right.
Woo!
Here
We
we go.
there?
Yep.
We're on.
Here we go.
Festool Live, 6 feet. Let's get going. Happy Friday, everybody. It's Festool Live. It's 12 noon, and we're ready for you today. Okay, so I got to introduce the room. We got Big D over here. Check out those new X-ray specs, baby. He's on it. Right here on the camera with the quick shake, we have Chris Seibert.
Oh, he's over there now.
Over here on the board, we have Min Min, known as Minnie. Woo! Online, we have Brent and Trappist answering all your questions. I already heard they're already answering questions. Wicked. All right. So, a little bit of stuff we got to tell you before we get going. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube. I think everybody tells you to do that, but please do. Hit the notification button. We don't want you to miss anything.
Nope.
Oh.
Yes, liking.
I like that. Thumbs up. Ooh, thumbs up so good. Woohoo! All right. What else I got to tell you? Okay, don't forget, right away, this is going to live on IG and Facebook as well. So whatever platform you can recommend people, we love you. Also follow us on those two, please. Festool USA. Okay, now I got to announce something. It's pretty cool. This is episode 36. Do you know what that means? It's vacation for everybody in this room. So we're going to take the rest of 2020 off, all right? But we're going to have on Festool Fridays, we'll have little introductions, but we're going to not do reruns. We're actually going to do best of specials. So you can tune in on those Fridays between now and 2021. Now, the next one we're going to have, of course, because of the way January 1st falls, it's going to be January 8th. And I'm going to announce it right now. We're going to cover, and we're already getting ready for it, we're going to do Generation 3, Sustainers. Okay, we're on schedule for that, and boy, it's going to be one heck of an episode. Did I cover that?
I think we're
Okay,
good.
so what Minnie wants me to tell you is don't forget, oh my goodness gracious, you're writing like a son of a gun already, Min. Don't forget to tell us where you're from. You guys have made this year the best for us. I'm going to say it now. I'll say it at the end of the episode. We wish all of you the happiest of holidays from the Festool Live team, also from the Festool North America team. Thank you for making this year special for us, and hopefully you and your families are safe, and happy holidays. Okay, enough of that. What are we doing today? Let me see. What's this? What's this?
OF 2200.
What's this?
OF 2200.
Guys, exciting. Come on, excitement. Woohoo! All right, so we're going to be covering the OF 2200. I can't tell you how many of you out there have asked about this. And I'm just going to give you a basic training on this. We were discussing what the content was going to be on the OF 2200. And there's one of the accessories that I use with the 2200 all the time, the plexiglass template. We ain't covering it today because guess what? In January and possibly February, we're going to have a full Festool Live on the plexiglass template. And what's wicked cool about that, we'll use it with the 1010. We'll use it with the 1400. We'll use it with the 2200. I just didn't want you to think that the plexiglass template is used for the 2200. All our routers fit on it except the MFK 700. Okay, so here we go. That's the OF 2200. Any questions? Okay, thank you for tuning in to Festool Live. We really appreciate it. Happy Festool Friday. Just kidding. Every time I pull this router out, everybody wants to know what this is. Now, there's a lot of folks out there that may own this, and you don't even know what this tab's for, okay? It is really easy to understand when someone shows you why that tab is on there, okay? And I'm going to step through it right now. I actually did a board here. We'll actually turn the router on and run it today. But say you get a big round over bit like this. I'm just going to bring this down. And this is how you set up a bit, okay? Look, see that? You get a big round over profile. You spent a pretty coin on that round over. You want to maximize it. Okay, now the first thing I did, which I'll pull myself back and show you, is let's look at how the router locks down. I have seen so many people using this router, and when they lock it down, they take this knob and watch, and they crank it. You don't have to. See this little white mark right here on the knob? And there's a little notch right here. Okay? As soon as you turn it back down or turn it past that in the locked position, that's locked now. It's not going to move on you, so don't over crank it. Cool. All right, so I'm going to take it, I'm going to eyeball it and bring it down here. And you've done this. I know you have. I've done this. When you're setting up a round over bit like that, you want to maximize a profile, okay? So you set it up, and that looks pretty good. You eyeball it like that, okay? And let's look at this board. And I'm going to swing by Chris so I can grab my inspection light. So you run that bit right here. Check this out, okay? And you look at it and you go, you know what? That's pretty good, but did I maximize the profile? So you reset it, and you go too deep. You see that little fillet you've created? See that? Hopefully that's capturing on the video.
Yep.
Okay, so guess what you got to do? You got to sand that down or replane it. If that's on a countertop, that's a heck of a lot of sanding, right? You don't want that. Or if you were like me, I would sell that for more. It's an architectural defect. I'm just kidding. Never mind. Okay. Here's the perfect. This is the perfect what you want. That is maximizing that expensive bit profile. But to get there is easy. Okay, and you know what? I'm halfway there. So here's what I'm going to show you. I have it set here. I'm close enough, all right? If I come in here, and hopefully we get this, Big D, okay? I'm going to release this. I have it locked on. Remember, I showed you how to lock it on. I'm going to take it, and we have these different turret steps. Okay, that's so you don't take the whole thing all at once. But if we can get in here to see this. See, this is your last turret stop. And it's actually a step. This here, I'm going to bring my pencil in here so you can see this right here. That is the second to last pass stop. That is an offset from there to there of 2 millimeters. But you see that little pin right there? So, and I use this green latch, it's when I have it down at the last stop, because that's going to be my final pass. Okay, I'm going to take this, and let's look in the middle of the turret. There's a center post, and if you see right here, this is ramped. When I take this and turn it, it locks underneath that center post. All right, so what I'm going to do now is see how this is right here. Okay, I'm going to lock it. Then check this out. If I release this, you're expecting this to go flying back, right, off of the plunge springs. It doesn't. Now, let's look at this part right here. This is my micro adjust, and listen. Okay, it's detented. Can you hear that? Okay, as I move it back and forth. So what's happening is instead of fiddle-faddling with it, and I'm going to set it just like this. Big D, I know you're going to get a good shot of this. I could take this and take a piece of wood, pretend it's this piece of wood, okay, and come right in here and look at it. Okay, so if we can see how it's hitting right there, this little part right here, guess what? I'm going to have that little ledge or little fillet on there. So what I'm going to do is very simply, look, dial it in, and you see how that's going to go just like that? A couple of clicks like that, and now I've maximized my profile. So now I know right away I'm going to get this on my final pass. Hopefully that makes sense. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it, I'm going to lock it back in. See, I just have to turn it like that. I'm not going to mess with the depth start rod, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that out. So the safe way, the safe way to run this is to do it what? In a couple of passes, okay? So I'll show you how that works. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off just so we can run this. I'm going to take it like this. I'm going to flip the board around like this so I can actually route with it. I'm going to clamp it up, get it against my stop like this, give myself plenty of room. The reason I'm clamping from underneath is the clamp itself will probably get in the way of the motor or one of the handles, but here it's a lower profile. See that? And I just brought it up like a holdfast from underneath. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to release it now because everything is locked in. Okay? This here, see this tap? This is my on-off switch. Okay, that's just my locking knob. So when I turn it on, I just lock it here with my finger. My hand never has to leave these handles. These are canted at a 30 degree this way, so it's a real nice ergonomic with this router. And they're actually canted this way, so it's even more comfortable in your hand. But this has here, when I take this, it has 360 degree dust extraction. Okay, now, as I'm running this bit, that bearing's running on here like this. Let's check it out. I got one right here. It's running here. And where does that dust want to go? It wants to kick out like this. All right, so these, we call these chip deflectors. And you have to put this on the base. Now, this is the beauty of the 2200. See this green lever here? Check this out, watch. See how I pull that and this base falls off? In here, on the bottom, you'll see there's two magnets, rare earth magnets. And when I put the cup on, which I'm going to put on right here, I'll swivel it up like this. Okay, I'll put those two, whoopsie. Only on camera does this happen. It has 4 indexing pins right here. Okay, you see these 2 tabs right here on the base? They go right down in these 2 steel tabs. It's kind of awkward with the camera. But there we go. Now that swivels. So that's going to block the dust as I run down this. Whew, okay. Man, I need a vacation. So let's get this. Let's get this in position. Remember what I said in earlier videos? My bearing's going to be hitting here. So this is the way I'm going to carry the router. I always make an L like this. And this I make an L like this with my right hand. My thumb is the bearing, and my index finger with that L points in the direction I'm going to go. Okay? It's just a good rule of thumb. And that happens with you can use this rule of thumb with a template guide or a parallel edge guide. Okay, so the 2200's hardwired. I'm going to set this down so I don't tip it and drop it like I usually do. Always, always, always remember this. When you're going to plug in a router, always make sure it's cycled off before you plug it in. So there you go. Plug it in. I'm just going to get set up, and I'm going to take that. Make sure we can get in here, Chris. You see that? I have it set on the last turn slot. Could I take this in one pass? Yes, this router is super powerful. It's got the weight to hold it. You barely feel the torque, but I'm going to take this in a couple of steps. That's why a depth stop turret. That really makes sense when we do something like this. Come over here, Chris, so we can see this. I'm not going to do this through mortise all in one pass. I'm going to take it in stops. And it's not for the power of the motor. Sometimes it is, but for this, it's not because of 2200. It's because we don't want to shear the bit. We don't want to break the bit. Okay, so let's see if I'm hooked up. Okay, we're good. What am I forgetting, everybody? Come on. I'm waiting for it. You thought I forgot the dust extraction. So I'm going to put that on. I'm going to make sure I'm on that step. Okay. Okay, so I want you to see that's the first one. Now, always when you are going near the bit, the depth stop turret, make sure it's cycled off. I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to go down, and because I want you to see that 2 millimeter offset. It's a good cleanup. Okay, so this is what I want you to see right in here. We have taken, excuse me, the lion's share, but I'm going to take it one more step. I'm going to bring it down to the final pass. That's why we've maximized it. But I want to show you, I'll pull it away so you can see the 2 millimeter cleanup cut, as I call it. And there you go. I maximized it, and you'll see that's the 2 millimeter right in there. And once again, in a hurry, I could have adjusted that a couple more clicks, and I'm going to do it right here for a shallower cut. And I'm just going to take it like this and go 1, 2, 3. So I can eliminate, whoopsie. I'm going to eliminate that hairline. Okay, so there you go. Good. So that is what that latch is for. Hopefully that came out to see it just right. That piece right there. Yes, like the 1400, you have a ratcheting. Call it. All right? Hopefully that made sense. Now, the other beauty of, and I got to make sure we get the cameras set where we need them set. All right, let's just do this. Okay, let's come in here and look at this. Big D, you got a good look at this?
Yep.
Okay, so this is the accessory kit. Very, very, very important about this is everything in here is sold separately. Okay, but why would you do that? That's what I tell everybody. I'm going to say right now, you need almost every one of these bases, these accessory sub-bases. By the way, I'm going to cover them today. It comes with the 2 rods. It comes with the parallel edge guide for the 2200. Okay, but it also, hang on one second. I just heard a moan over here. Oh my God, look at that board.
And I'm still not done.
Holy mo! Oh my God, is that Martha? Where, Martha? How are you? Say hi to Brian, St. John Moss. How you guys doing, my buddies from the Bahamas? I haven't seen you in years. Okay, now I'm excited. Okay, you gotta be kidding me. How you guys been, man? Oh my God, it is Christmas. I just got an early Christmas present. Fantastic. Okay, where was I? Accessory kit.
Accessory
Never mind.
kit, yep.
Okay, so here's the parallel edge guide. I've gone through parallel edge guides, right, already? Okay, same thing. Your micro adjust is here on the 2200. Now this, I think I've covered on the 1400, and I think also, right, Chris? And also on the 1010. But this, I want to show the setup because it's a series of things. This is the guide stop. This is how the 2200 rides on the guide rail. Okay, so one of the things I've always taught people, when you look at the Festool system of routers, okay, especially our plunge routers, the 1010, 1400, and 2200, the reason you buy them is because they got killer dust extraction and they ride on the rail. I'm going to ask you a question. How many times have you out there built a jig and you take probably a half hour, 45 minutes, even up to an hour to make that jig? So you could take a couple pieces of wood and bring that piece of wood to a table saw or a router table, and you put it on that jig and go 2 or 3 times, okay? And then what do you do with that jig? Huh? What do you do? You hang it on the wall, or you put it up on the shelf because someday you may need that. How many times have you gone back and used it? Not too daggone much, but you know what? You can't throw it away, can you? You know why? Because that's a time trophy. That you are so proud of that jig. So when I show people the Festool system with one of our plunge routers, I'd love to mention that, guess what? With the guide stop, the rods, okay, but with the 2200, you have this base, okay? You have an infinitely adjustable what? Jig. So check it out. And with that MFT3, oh my God. So the way I have it set up over here, okay, is I have it set up with the 2200. I put a 1/2-inch bit. Now, you can go back and look at former episodes on how we set up the OF 1400. I think I've done it a couple of times, okay, how the router rides on the rail. I think I even did it with a 1010, okay, but we were doing through mortises yesterday. And I did this one. I did the setup. I'm going to pull this off. Hopefully I don't mess with anything. And you know the Festool system, what? Lines up on the center line. So this was the center of my bit, okay, or the center of my mortise. Okay, this is where I wanted to stop it precisely. And check this out. I wanted to start it precisely. So once again, it's the system, right? The OF 2200 is really, it's an 18-pound router, okay? And it can get top heavy. So what we did is we created a base. Now, let's do a little bit of math. When a router rides on the rail, okay, or the track saw, the thickness of the track saw, including this PFTE strip, is 5 millimeters, okay? That's what this offset is. The router rides partially on a rail, but you need to have it fully balanced on this material, okay? And this is a 5 millimeter piece of phenolic. So you see, it's very well thought through, because we know this is I don't want to say a monster of a router, because when you're using this, it's nothing. Okay, so you have a micro adjust here, right? So you can micro adjust it. But remember the center line? Chris, come on back here if you can, buddy. Okay? Yep, no worries. Hey, hopefully you trip on something. Okay, now look. I lined it up. There's the center line on my OF 2200 when I did this yesterday. But I wanted to repeat it. Guess what I did? I wanted to repeat it on the other end, and I did. This one from this end is exactly this one. And I just flipped it around, because guess what? I have a repeatable stop on my MFT3. Now, you could set up any of our routers without the MFT3, lining it up on center line. But boy, you put it on the MFT, man, you get the opportunity to use repeatable stops. You can create angle mortises, because if you have that repeatability and you have that protractor head on there. So the other thing that goes missing when people set up the stop are these. These are called limit stops, right? I don't want to think, when I start this router, I don't want to think about where I'm starting it and where I'm stopping it. That's what these stops are. You know, you get one of these with each track saw, okay? Get another one, because with the router, you have a starting point and stopping point. So Chris, come over here so we can get this. This is why I have a support bracket on here. This is a 1/2-inch bit. Okay, so I'm gonna do imperial today. What's half of a half? Come on, we all know it's a quarter. Look, I got a quarter line on here. So I have to start it a quarter before, which I did, look, and then I put my stop on there, and I have to stop it a quarter, because that's my center line right there, and I have to stop it a quarter before. And that's how I did these mortises. Now, I didn't take it all in one pass. I took it in a few passes, and that's why I used the depth stop turret. Follow? I hope. Whew. Okay, so I'm going to cover a couple more bases. Hang on one second. Let me get a little sanitizer. That's where we all do this. It's got to be what, guys? Festool sanitizer. Okay, good. Just checking. Good. Whew. Hey, you know what this is really good for too? Man, I'm a Mr. Clean today, baby. All right, so let's do this. This is the base that comes on with the OF 2200. Look at the aperture here. That's a huge diameter between here and here, right? So what if I have in the 2200 an 8 millimeter shank bit like this, okay? And I'm going around a corner like this. You know, on router tables, right? You try to put in what we call a zero clearance insert. Guess what? The 2200? Because if I had this bit in here, let's just pretend, okay? And I was going around here, this could catch if I tipped a little, or this could tip the router a little. But if I have a base like this, and they snap in and out wicked quick, look, that's fully supported as I bring it around, okay? You get it, don't you, Chris? Huh? He's nodding, everybody. I don't know if you can see him. Okay, you know what's really good? It's glad he's nodding in acknowledgement that he gets it, not nodding off. Okay, good. Now, the other one I want to point out is when you're using, look, a really large bit, okay, and you are into, say you're doing a sink profile on some corian, or solid surface. This is what we call table wideners. Okay, you put that on there, and with the router, this part's right here, and with the handles, you get maximum support. Doing a sink cutout or a sink profile or a big profile. In other words, it adds more stability to the already stable 2200. Whew! All right. Now, another base that I like to talk about, it's kind of misunderstood. I have to show it because If you decide to get this system of bases and rods and guide stops all in one package, okay, which I suggest, but what do I know? I'm going to put it all away so Chris doesn't have to, is this base right here, okay? And if we kind of look at it, someone says, well, that kind of looks like a template guide. And guess what it's for? A template guide. And here's what I'm getting at. This system of accessories, and I love this, but there's two choices. And this was our first foray into Imperial in the U.S. These are available, the whole set. It comes with a bunch of template guides, and you could choose whether you want these in metric or Imperial. So that's what you got to really look at in the catalog or on websites. I always like using metric because the math's easy for template guides, but I want you to see the notches here, okay? And I'm going to actually put it on right here. And why do we have this base? It's quite similar to the, not zero clearance, but the small bore base inside the kit, this one, right here, because you want maximum support on a template. But why do we have all these holes? Now, I don't know if this is the perfect example, but I'm just going to put this in like this, okay? Get those in there like this. There's your, whoopsie, template guide. Now, you may have certain jigs or certain templates that require the two-piece universal template guides, and that's okay, because with every 2200 included is a universal template guide. Dust extraction. Support, stability. So when I put this on and click it in, if I'm doing, and this is an okay example, but I want maximum dust extraction as I'm, and particularly when I'm doing an inside cut, I want to pull all the dust. And this would not give enough support on one of those templates. This will, but with these notches cut out, I can maximize that dust extraction. So I hope that helped you understanding what the different bases inside this accessory kit. Your choices are metric and Imperial. Oh boy.
You ready?
I think I covered it. I think so. Man, I think I'm ready for vacation. Hopefully that was a simple, basic understanding of the 2200. You'll see, hopefully you saw it. It's very well powered. The dust extraction is exceptional. I took a big hunk of walnut out of it. I don't get a lot in there. Oh boy. Oh my God. Too cool. Okay, so everybody. Thank you. It's so easy. Sometimes I'm looking around. It's not that I'm trying to grasp for more material because we covered so much, and hopefully I didn't cover it too quick. So what I'm going to do is I want to zoom over here really quick, Chris. Oh yeah, Minnie, check this out. Look at this. Oh my God. Well, Minnie keeps writing, so it's two bays now, David and Steve.
Two
Cool.
boys.
Martin.
Oh no.
Yes.
Way. Has it been that long, guys? Hey, I want to call out to the St. John Moss clan, David and Steve. Holy moly, man. Like, oh, I can't believe the time has flown by. Woo! All right, so here we go. And you know what I really like about this, Minnie, is I mispronounce everything. So this is, hopefully I have a consensus agreement, but I think this is one of our favorite times during live. We love training you on Festool. We love teaching you the ins and outs of Festool system. But man, you guys are the ones that have made it for us. Truly, God, we're so thankful. We love you. I always say we love you. So I don't care. I'm going to call these out because I'm Mr. Mispronunciation. Always write where you're from. Tell us where you're from. So here we go. What's this one? Switzerland, Hartford, South Dakota, Lebanon, Indiana. Hi, Quentin Tarantino. Okay, we got Heron, Illinois, the French Alps, Bloomington, Indiana. Go Hoosiers. Tucson, Arizona, St. Louis, Missouri, Kokomo, Indiana, Toulouse, France. You thought I'd mispronounce that, didn't you?
You got it right.
Huh? Hot Atlanta, baby. The Netherlands. the Netherlands, 2-pack. Okay, we got East Yorkshire, England. Did I say that right, Mr. Moss? Okay, Brian, Ohio. Chris from Italy, the Bahamas. I know who that is. Southern California, 2-pack. All right, Long Island, New York. Pinehurst, North Carolina. Jersey, the sunny Channel Island.
8 miles from France.
8 miles from France. Okay, you know who I always look for? It better be up there.
He's there.
Norway, Sweden, Dorset, England, Shrewsbury, UK. Whew. Arkansas or Arkansas. Is that a W?
I think we're missing an S.
Okay. Canada Service. Woo! Dominic. Tony. All right. I know you dudes. Olympia, Washington. Manchester, Connecticut. Caldwell, Ohio. Maryland. Seattle, Washington. 2-pack. Edinburgh, Scotland. CT Dust Extractors? Connecticut. Okay. San Jose, California. Holland, Michigan. Milan, Tennessee. Is that Milan, Tennessee? Is it really a Milan in Tennessee?
It really is.
God, I love this. Montreal. Helena, Alabama. I know that's Brian, right?
Yep.
Andy. I miss you, buddy. Andy Sorty from Long Island. Okay. South Shore, Boston. Woo! Southeast. I love Southeast. Vienna. Malta, baby. All right, Finland. Minis keeps writing. Cairo, you got to be kidding me.
No,
Paris, Nebraska. Gauteng, SA. What's that?
South Africa.
South Africa. No way. Ottawa, Canada. Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville's no South Africa. I'm just kidding. Galveston, Texas. Los Angeles, Belgium, 2-pack. Chester, UK. Knoxville, Tennessee. West Medford, Mass. South Dakota. Great Falls, Virginia. South Africa, 2-pack. Charleston, West Virginia. Haverhill, Mass. See, I pronounced that right because I know Haverhill. All right. Chicagoland. Yeah, baby. Aiken, South Carolina. Raymond, Maine. Romania. Whitestone, New York. Regina, Ireland. 2-pack will be there next October. Evergreen, Colorado. Blackburn, UK. Nottingham, England. Wales, UK. 2-pack. Cologne, Germany. India. Tisselt, Belgium. Elgin, South Carolina. Tennessee. Helsinki, Finland. Hey, wait a minute. Wayne's World. Delaware. Okay, cool. Munich. Rawreth, Texas, UK. Delft, Netherlands. Scotland, UK. Woo! We love you.
And
We really love you. Happy holidays.
Seoul, Korea just showed up too.
Who
we're
did?
good. Seoul, Korea.
Seoul, Korea. We love you. Hey, listen. Happy holidays from the Festool Live family, from the Festool North America family, from Minnie,
From Minnie, happy holidays.
from Chris, from Big D,
Happy holidays.
okay, from Brent and Trappist Online,
They say happy holidays
okay,
too.
and also, that's it. And everybody here. Hey, listen, you made our year. You kept us safe. And did I say we love you? Just kidding. Happy holidays to you and your family. We will see you back here live on January 8th. For 2021. It's going to be a heck of a year. Okay? So that's a wrap. Rock and roll, baby. Woo!
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.